Hey everyone, welcome back to Whiskey Trek. I'm Jackson.
And I am Natalie.
I gave you a heavy pour on that. My bad. Natalie, what are we talking about today?
All right. Today we're talking about what to get your whiskey-loving best friend as a present. We're going to go into the good, the bad, the dirty, the useful. We're going to talk about all the things. This is not just promoting products. We're getting real with y'all. What do you think? Ready to go?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what's on the list, so...
Birthday presents, Christmas presents.
Basically, if you're looking to buy a whiskey lover something, here is a whiskey lover's perspective on receiving said gift.
All right. There will be 12 things.
This Rebel smells really good, though.
I'm just going to sip that real quick. Wow. All right, cheers to the game. So I'm going to show it to you on the iPad, but there's going to be on the corner for everyone else to see better, the same picture. All right, the first thing on our list, a travel decanter for your whiskey-loving friend.
Ah, like this travel decanter?
Oh, my gosh. What?
Yes. As someone who owns one, I can say without doubt, if your whiskey lover likes to go camping or to some degree, something like that, they travel but don't fly, they drive wherever they're going, they're out in the woods or doing something, then this is a great buy. Otherwise, I don't see the point.
Excellent disclosure.
So I bought this for myself thinking that it'd be super cool. We take driving trips to her parents in San Antonio and other places like that. And I thought I would get a lot of use out of this, but I don't. Because I just load up my whiskey sharing bags, which hold 6 bottles per bag, and I have 2 of them. And I just load those up and take those with me. These are your 2 cups or whatever, right? And it's a cool idea, but I don't really use it, and that's very sad. Cool idea. Oh, very, very specific person in mind, I think. The camper for sure. Someone who's needing to pack light, wants to take more than a flask's worth. This is great. It's 500 milliliters. And yeah.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being purchase it, 1 being skip it.
I'm gonna give it a 5. Just a straight down the middle. It's a cool thing, but only for specific people.
All right, item number 2.
Alrighty.
Personalized rocks glasses.
These are hit or miss. I have a freaking huge amount of rocks glasses, more than I could count. And I don't drink out of rocks glasses almost ever. I know that's controversial. A lot of people love their rocks glasses, and I totally get it. I love them for cocktails, but my preferred method of drinking whiskey is neat, not over ice, so rocks glasses aren't really my use case. Now that being said, it depends on what they're personalized with or who they're from or things like that. So it can go really well or really poorly. I'm gonna say this is a solid 8 out of 10 because the guy who you give it to or the girl you give it to, they're gonna love it because it's personalized. It's from you to them and you spent time on it and thought about it.
Decorative.
Yep, super cool. And they will get use out of it, some more than others.
All right, third. This is another.
Table. Oh no. Shh, cover her up.
Ooh. Number 3 is another glass item, but we have a cigar holding glass.
Pause one more time.
Okay.
You mean this cigar holding glass?
The very same?
Who would have thought? Okay, this is something that I got from my brother from another mother, Adam. Thanks, Adam. I've used it exactly 1 time for its intended function of holding a cigar while you drink your whiskey. It sucks. It's terrible. The cigar constantly falls out. I mean, you're thinking most cigars that you smoke need more of a lip than this, so it should go in farther into the glass. It needs to have a little bit more where it comes up just to hold it from falling out. The cigar just constantly just rolls out.
Yes, I was gonna say, I've never seen you use it, but all that makes sense.
And so here's a plus or a minus, depending on how you look at it. You have to drink from a corner, otherwise it's just gonna go out the corners on the sides of your mouth and spill whiskey all over you. And obviously, in order to drink from it, you gotta move the cigar anyways. But more than that, why do you need your glass to hold your cigar when if you smoke a cigar, you have an ashtray. You can just put it on the ashtray. It's total novelty. It's silly, it's goofy. This is a white elephant gift, if I've ever seen one for your whiskey lover.
Oh.
Just to get a laugh, I would assume. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10.
Well, alrighty.
And honestly, it should be a 1 out of 10, except for it's just kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. All right, the next one?
Ready?
4? I don't know. Okay, a cocktail smoking kit.
Ooh, another Uno Momento? I don't actually have one that looks like that. I got the one that you put on top of the rocks glass. Smoking kit is super cool, especially if the whiskey lover in your life is a mixologist. So, like, I don't typically make cocktails all that often for myself, but my family loves cocktails and my brother loves his smoked old fashions. So, smoking kits definitely come in handy. If not, at least for the first like week or 2 that you have the smoking kit, you'll use it all the time. And then like a few months later, you're like, oh, I forgot I had the smoking kit, because you just kind of like want an old fashioned. You don't want to take the time to do it every time.
Look at the reviews, y'all.
Yes, smoking kit, 9 out of 10. The one reason I don't give it a 10 is because not everyone's into making cocktails.
So, yeah.
But if that person is, or even thinking about getting into making cocktails, it's really cool if they don't have one. That's something that, you know, you go to a nice bar and they smoke your cocktail for you. You think, okay, that's sweet, and it smells awesome, and it looks cool. So 100%, 9 out of 10, I think.
All right, number 5. We have, I don't know what to call these. There's ice molds, decorative,
Oh, that's cool.
defrosting.
Yeah, I don't know how these work. They look really cool, and if you get one that's like tailored to you, so in the photo, obviously, there's like, they just have the diagonal lines, which looks cool, but it's not really personable. I think where this gift excels is if you can like personalize what goes on to the ice, you know?
Yeah, that's cute.
I think even more importantly, you gotta be able to know how to make clear ice.
Which is something we've never successfully done.
Yes, indeed. So a lot goes into this gift before you can buy the gift. That's why I think I'm gonna give this I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, well, because it's really cool. But if you get it for someone, like, let's say you're looking at this or a smoking kit for someone, and you're thinking, well, they might not be into mixology as much as I think, or maybe they're not into it at all, but they were talking about getting into it. And this is kind of like giving them something that's a little bit more advanced, I think, because there's so many things you have to have before. You have to have the mold, you have to know how to make clear ice, and then you can use it. You gotta be careful buying things like this for people, because you don't know where they are in their journey necessarily, or maybe you do, but there's always that risk that you buy it and they're just not quite there yet, and then they can't use it for a while, or by the time they can use it, they forgot they had it, or something like that. So
All right.
that's always a tough one.
Okay. Good ranking. Next.
All right.
We have a flight. This doesn't have to be like a barrel flight, just any 4 glasses designed with this intention.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think really it works best for the person in your life that likes to taste whiskey blind and do it with other people. If you think about it, if you have one of these and you're doing it for yourself, like, that's no problem, but like, are you trying to impress yourself? Like, why are you pulling it out? Why not just have it on the table? I wouldn't use one by myself, but if I had friends over and I had like 2 or 3 sets of these, then, you know, everyone gets their own. It's like going to a whiskey distillery and doing a barrel pick, or doing one of their tastings at the end of the tour where they have it all set up and it looks nice. And it's,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Really
nice.
cool. It can be a display if you only get one. But if you do get multiple, and this guy or girl has friends over often for tastings, or is thinking about doing that, or even if you're the person who goes over for the tastings, it's all in your favor. So it can always just be table art.
All right, next one we have these whiskey rocks that you put in the freezer and make your drink chilly.
Yeah, whiskey stones.
Stones, yes, yes.
0 out of 10.
We don't need any more explanation.
They are terrible. They don't keep your drink cold. The goal is to not dilute your whiskey, right? But they don't actually change the temperature at all. I think Whiskey Tribe did a video about this where they tested like how much temperature change there was in the whiskey when they put the whiskey stones in their glass. And it was like maybe 5 degrees difference or something. Like, it was so negligible. And by that point, as all of the cold in the stones is already gone, like,
Fair enough.
it just doesn't work. They don't work. And then every time you use them, you feel like you're gonna break your glass because you're dropping these things into the glass, and it just, I don't know.
So they look cool, but avoid them.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother. If you want your whiskey chilled, maybe stick it in the fridge or the freezer for a few minutes before you pour it. I don't recommend leaving it in the freezer. That's not my preference. But if you do like it a little bit cold, stick the bottle in the freezer for a few minutes before you pour it, and then you get the same result without the dilution from the ice.
Very nice. Okay, next. This says
Norlan whiskey glass.
Yeah, I
yes.
thought it looked cool.
These things are actually really, really interesting. The whole premise of a Norlan whiskey glass is it's double walled, so when you hold it, if you do want to have some ice in it, it doesn't make your hands cold, but also your hands don't change the temperature of the whiskey inside the glass. The whole point of the Norlan glass is to make the nose experience of your whiskey better, therefore also changing how it tastes, because smell is such a huge part of taste. And I will say, it does actually make a difference. Whether it's for better or for worse, that's up to you to decide. But I will say, my best friend in college got me a pair of these, and we did try them out when we were living together in college, and it was noticeable. It smelled different. It was almost softer. It made the palate a little bit less astringent, so that ethanol was kind of washed away there. So differences are to be had, but at what cost? A high one. It's like $40 for 2 or something like that. They're not cheap. And for that reason, I'm gonna say it's a 4 out of 10. They're more novelty than anything else, and they do look really cool. I've got matte black ones. I think they're down here. Here they are. So this is the Norlan glass. So they look really cool. Mine's matte black, obviously. I just don't think that they're worth the price that you have to pay to get them. Just buy a Glen.
All right, next we have personalized whiskey barrels. It doesn't have to be personalized, but those tiny little whiskey barrels you see at all the liquor stores. They're adorable, but...
Well, the primary use case for these little barrels is to age your stuff at home, which I rarely hear goes well.
Okay.
I think that these are cool as display. I think that they don't really work for why people buy them. If you want to keep it on your desk, cool.
Cute.
Problem is, they're really expensive.
That is a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. This is a gift from someone who has more money than they know about whiskey, or maybe they think they do, right? They think, oh, you can age stuff in this and, change the profile, which some people do have success with. It's just very difficult to get the timing right, and small barrels just have such a large impact on your whiskey. So I would say avoid these. They're too expensive. You'll probably end up ruining whatever you put in there, and it'll just end up sitting on your desk.
Yes. Okay, next we have large ice ball molds. Just the spheres, not decorative or anything, just spheres.
Yeah, great gift. Going back to mixology and cocktails, if you like cocktails or specifically old fashions, or even if you just like to drink it whiskey on the rocks, then this is perfect because you don't have to use the crappy ice from your refrigerator, which melts super fast, and then your whiskey tastes like water, and then it's just not even enjoyable after like 5 minutes. These are cheap. Basically any brand you get is gonna work, and it'll keep your whiskey cold without diluting it for a lot longer than regular ice, and a hell of a lot better than Whiskey Stones. These are cheaper than Whiskey Stones. They're better than Whiskey Stones, 100%. This is a 10 out of 10 buy, I think. I think if you don't have them and you don't want to buy them for yourself, like, I don't know, they're like $5, but in any case, if you're looking to buy these for someone, this is a great purchase. Totally a great investment.
Okay.
Investment.
We got it. Yeah, my $5 investment. Woo. We've got our first 10 out of 10. Okay, next thing is a Moracca Shaker Set.
Yes. Man, lots of cocktail stuff on here.
I know.
Which is funny because I'm not a cocktail guy necessarily. I used to be. That being said, I do make cocktails for people often, just not for myself. 100% if you're getting someone a shaker, get this style where the two ends come together, not the, I don't remember what the other one's called.
We'll put a picture.
Where it's just like a little dome on top with a pour spout and like built into it. Never buy those. They are horrible. They are terrible. They never work. They are a pain. Get these. I would go to Cocktail Kingdom. They have the same design where it's the one bigger cup and the one smaller cup. That is exactly what you need. I'm gonna give it another 10 out of 10 because most people, they just go and buy themselves the cheap shaker or something. And yeah, like this. This is what I was talking about. These things are terrible, right? They just always give you trouble. Look how nasty the rim is around because they're just so hard to peel apart. It's just, yeah, never buy these.
10 out of 10. All right, well, we have one more.
All right, we're finishing strong, hopefully.
Well, we'll see. Just a basic decanter, personalized or not, would you buy a decanter for your whiskey-loving friend?
I don't really have a use for a decanter.
I didn't think you did, but you own one. Science bottle.
Oh, yeah, I bought that for a completely different purpose, though.
I know, but it's technically a decanter.
Where is that, actually? So this is the only decanter I've ever bought for myself.
Which is a stretch of an example. We understand this.
100%. It was super cheap. I bought it at Specs, and I only used it to blend 1915, where you take Old Forester 1910 and Old Forester 1920 and combine it, and then you let it mingle for a few weeks to make 1915.
Only for serious science projects.
Yeah, which is why I got one that had how many milliliters are on the back. That way I could measure it, right? So good for that. I know that my brother Matt loves his decanter. He has two, I think. And he does actually use them, and they do look really cool. What in the world is wrong with this stupid...
We'll do a replay and see why it keeps moving.
Why does it keep moving? It's so annoying. Just stop. Golly. Anyways.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Back to business.
Yeah. I don't really get the reason why you would want to have one unless you are serving people whiskey who don't necessarily care about what they drink. They just want to act fancy. Which, why are you hanging out with those people, right?
Babe.
Why are you hanging out with people who want to be fake and just use whiskey as status? Whiskey's not about status, it's about enjoying it and telling the story and hanging out with your friends. But if you're an important businessman who needs to impress his friends or whatever, and act like he's not feeding them Maker's Mark out of a decanter and say it's something else, then that's great. And they do look really nice. I just would never use them. I'm gonna say decanters, 5 out of 10, straight down the middle. I wouldn't be upset about getting one, I just would never use it.
There you go. All right.
And they're expensive.
They can be. They can be.
So, yeah. All right, what would be the one thing off of this list that you would recommend?
Oh, that's such a good question. I would say it's a split between the shaker, the Moracca Shaker, and the cocktail smoker, because my brother-in-law has that, and he has made me some slapping good cocktails. Oh my gosh, I would gift him that over and over again, even though obviously you only need one. And yeah, the Moracca Shaker. As a person who sometimes steps up and make the cocktails instead of you, yeah, the pressure that builds up in those dome ones that can just explode. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. I can't go back.
Well, there you have it. Let us know what else should be on this list. If we get enough recommendations, we could just make a second video.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We also missed the holiday season.
Oh, it's for birthday presents, let's be clear. There's a birthday every single day.
I'm just gonna say, if we posted this a month ago, or a month and a half ago, we would have gotten so many more viewers. All right, well, let us know your recommendations, and maybe we'll make a part 2. But until then, we'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.